G'day friends, welcome to Create Weekly. So this week we're going to do a number 2 Create Weekly sketch layout. It's Vicky Wright, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator, Australia. So as I said, we're going to actually do this layout here, and it's number 2. Okay, so I'm trying to put some sort of order into our layouts, so hopefully it will continue, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I just sort of grabbed a sketch from a book on what comes up next. Okay, so let's get on with it. I do apologise if it's a little bit dark. So what we're going to do is this sketch layout, and I thought we might use Trimming the Tree from the annual catalogue. Now, I think there are dies out to match this stamp set, but I don't have them. So all we're going to do is just fussy cut the tree when we stamp it. And what we're going to be using is the Regals 6x6 DSP. So these are all the Regal colours. You've got Rich Razzleberry, Blackberry Bliss, Old Olive, Crushed Curry, Real Red, Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce, Pumpkin Pie, did I say that? And you've got basically 4 designs. So that's one. That's the opposite of that one. That's Pumpkin Pie. I think that's Garden Green. And we've got Blackberry Bliss. So that's that one. And, no, not that one, sorry. That one. Let's try another colour. Nope. That pattern, that's what I'm trying to say, and then that pattern. Okay, so they're the 4 patterns in the pack of paper. And today we're going to be using that one. I think that's Blackberry Bliss. I sort of get Blackberry Bliss and Raspberry Ripple mixed up. No, it might be. It's Raspberry Razzleberry. Rich Razzleberry. Sorry. Okay. So we're going to be using that. And I think we'll team it up with a Smokey Slate base card, basic white, and a layer of balmy blue. Now, as usual, I'm not sure how this will work out, but we'll just keep on keeping on. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut our DSP down to size. So I'm going to go about 5.5, I think. See what happens that way. Don't throw that away. We'll use that for our inside or envelope. Then I think I might do about 1.25. Okay. I'll just smooth this over a bit so you can see. 1.25. So we want 2 of these. Oops. Making sure it's nice and straight. And while we're chopping, I'm going to chop another piece, about 3/4 for the inside. Okay, so that should be just all our chopping done. Just bear with me. Get some scissors. Okay, so then we're going to bring in our piece of balmy blue. So these are our two pieces. Now, I'm actually going to use the opposites like that. I should have gone up and down, but that doesn't matter. I've obviously cut it the wrong way, but that's okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could have a totally different colour for the second piece, but I'm just going to use the opposite sides. You can emboss these pieces if you wanted to, or just do a technique, or create your own DSP if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. And all I'm going to do is stick this to the piece of balmy blue so that my edges are matched. And we're going to stick this piece down. Like that. Okay, so that's all nice and straight. And my edges are not. I'm just going to trim along the top a bit. Just bear with me. Just so it's nice and straight. And what we're going to do, just trim this off a little bit. Put this to a piece of basic white. Oops. Now, as usual, these cards that I'm doing are pretty easy, as I like to sort of keep them easy just to show you what you can do with the sketch layout. So that's basically our card. Then what we're going to do is put this to a piece of, I've got Smokey Slate, and I've done it tent style this time, okay? And we're going to stick that to the front. Now you could have turned this on its side if you wanted to and gone landscape, like that. So that's done. So that's basically our card. So while we're here, we'll bring in another piece of basic white and that piece of DSP that I cut. And we'll do our inside as well. Now, I've cut it a little bit shorter, only because it was layered extra. I had an extra layer on the front, but that's okay. It's just got a little extra, looks like it's been, has an extra layer attached to it, the top and bottom. There you are. So that's our inside done. Then of course we've got to have the envelope. So we'll do that too. Now this is probably a non-traditional Christmas colour. But you could change it out to your traditional colours quite easy. Turn it into a birthday card if you wanted to. So that's that. So that's done. And that's done. So what we're going to do now is bring in a piece of basic white and our tree, which I've already put onto a block. And we're going to use Old Olive. Okay. Ink that up. So that's nice and inked. Just like that. Okay. And this is a 2-step stamp set. So we're going to bring in our villa, so to speak. And I think I will stamp it the same colour in Old Olive. And I think what we'll do is stamp off once and we'll come back and I think we'll just stamp in here. Hoping that that works. Yep. And then we'll just close this up. And then I'm just going to grab our scissors and I'm just going to very quickly, I'm not being too fussy. I'm just going to fussy cut around the tree. Now, as I said, if you had the dies, you could easily cut this out with the dies. But I actually bought this before the dies come out, so I haven't worried about it. As you can see, it's not perfect. And I'm just following the layout of the tree. And I'll fix up here. And that is our tree. So what we might do actually is do a little pot for our tree to sit in. And I think we will do that in, let's do it in Smokey Slate, eh? Grey granite, Smokey Slate. And I'll get a block. And we'll grab a scrap of cardstock. I might redo that. Let's try one more. Third time lucky. And what we'll do, I'll take the second one here. is again just fussy cut this out. This one's pretty straightforward. Actually, what I'll do, I'll take this one, you'll see why in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is leave a little bit of cards up the top so that I can then have a little bit to stick it on. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of glue on the top, just like that. You could use mini glue dot if you wanted to, or tape. And just stick that just in the middle, making sure it's straight, otherwise it might tip over. And this is what we're doing here. This is our circle shape, so we've turned it into a tree shape, and we'll bring our dimensionals in. And we'll cut some of these. I make myself use the whole sheet. Otherwise, I just go straight onto a new sheet and leave these for later. And then I've got stacks of unused bits and pieces of dimensionals. And we might put just a little one just there. Probably gone over the top, but that's okay. So then we'll bring our tree in. Okay. And we'll put it about there. Actually, I don't mind the colour. Okay, then what we're going to do is our sentiment. So we'll go with, I think we'll go with peace and joy. Peace and joy. And I think we will use Smokey Slate again. And I'm just going to go and get a block. And we want some scrap paper. And we're just going to do this here, all right, our little sentiment. I'll just bring this down a little bit so it might be out of eye for the moment. Oops. That's it. And I'm going to stamp this probably out of your eyesight for the moment. And we're going to use, what did I say, Smokey Slate. I always stamp onto scrap paper first so that I know I've got my sentiments straight. And fingers crossed. Yeah, that's pretty good. And we grab our scissors, and I might just cut that little bit off. Leave a little bit there. I can never cut a straight line. straight. Yeah. Then we're going to grab some dimensionals, which I've run out of. I've used all that. Good-o. Just bear with me. New pack, hee. Love a new pack. And we'll take the sticky lids off. And we'll just put it on here. Now, I turn mine upside down. I don't know why, but that's just me. Just so I know I'm going to get it straight. As I said, I'm not too sure why I do it. And that is our sentiment. And that's basically our card. Very easy peasy. But what we're going to do now is grab some bling. You've got to have bling. And we're going to use the red and green pearls. That's wrong. These are the Festive pearls, okay, from the mini catalogue. Okie dokie. And I think we'll just use the silver ones. And I'm just going to scatter them over the tree. And we'll put one right up the top. Press them down now. And what we'll do is put a couple. If you wanted to, I just thought of that, you could create a couple of presents just from DSP and just stick them around the bottom of the Christmas tree if you wanted to. Just cut out a couple of rectangles, squares, and just put them around the bottom of the Christmas tree. Just in different colours. You could colour just a square in if you wanted to. You could stamp a pattern on the square, emboss the square or the present, and just stack that around. So that is our easy peasy sketch for today. I can't believe how easy it was. But of course, I have another one to share with you. Let me find it. And this is using, what's it called? Sunny Splash from the annual catalogue. Okay. So that's it there. That's the stamp set. And that's the card I've created. The DSP is is it the Tea Party from the annual catalogue? Is that what it's called? No. Tea Bouquet. Okay. That's it there. So that's the paper I've used on this card. I've stamped the togs in, that's Poppy Parade, and that is Petal Pink. Sentiment is from Art Gallery, and it's been stamped in Crushed Curry. That's the Tea Bouquet DSP. It's been layered onto a piece of crumb cake, basic white, and crushed curry. The circle is using the Stylish Shapes. So is the banner. And these are the flowers from the, what are they called? Can't remember. That's it. The sunflowers resin shapes. And you have Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Fresh Freesia, Starry Sky, and Parakeet Party. So these are the crushed curry ones. Okay. And I've done the same with the inside. I've used a scrap piece of paper to decorate the inside, and of course the envelope. Okie dokie. So that's our Create Weekly for today, and as usual I'll have all the details in our Stamp and Create group. There's a link below if you want to join us, and I'll post that up later on today. Okay, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it, and enjoy your day. See ya. Hooray.